republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody to our October 20th, 2020 meeting. We proceed with approval of minutes from October 20th. It takes longer to approve minutes than actually the meeting was. Right here. 14 minutes. 14 minutes. I move we approve the minutes as written. I make the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any makes a second. All those in favor of approval of minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. That passed. Move on to approval of the payroll voucher for the period ending October 17th. Any questions, concerns over it? Here now.
Motion to approve the payroll dated October 14th.
Who's made the motion? Is there a second? Second. And second. All those in favor of payroll voucher as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So that passed. Next up will be the accounts payable for the period ending October 20th. Any questions, concerns over this?
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable October 20th.
Anything for the motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Lincoln, the second. All those in favor of the accounts payable as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So that's. All right, we move on to our department head reports. We start off with police and Tom Hagan.
For the month of September, we had a total of 120 cases, issued 4 citations, issued 1 written warning, responded to 6 property damage accidents, responded to 1 injury accident, had 6 arrests, 81 traffic stops, night shift put out 50 security checks, and we had 5 cases filed with the prosecutor's office for review. That's all I have on the email numbers. If there are any questions.
Any questions of members?
Okay, one thing that I want to bring to the council, now our department, your department, town's department is all, every member of this department has went through crisis intervention training, the 40-hour training. So, I really want to speak highly of Ben Kramer. He's our only reserve officer. Ben Kramer took a week's vacation. So he could make it to the September 22nd through 26th training. So for someone to take a week's vacation to get to attend that training, that really speaks to what kind of character, what kind of individual Ben Kramer is. I've been very fortunate to have him.
Any other questions, concerns for Tom? Here none. We good to go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Move on to Scott with the wastewater department.
Monthly report for September. Removal of CBOD was 99.155%. Removal of total suspended solids was 98.74%. Removal of ammonia was 98.557%. Removal of phosphorus was 93.246%. Our daily average flow was 234,000 gallons a day. And for the month, we treated 8,982,044 gallons. And we had no MPDS permit violation. Belt press 82,311 gallons. Had to unclog the drum screen. It's still getting our monthly forms from the DC store. Been trying to do some jetting around town. Cleaned our manhole over 431 there by the creek. Backed out the One Road lift station. On the utility truck and the land app unit, where are we on clearing that surplus or what do I need to do?
We're supposed to pass the ordinance tonight.
Oh, okay, no fault. Never mind then. Then we're on equipment maintenance, starting to get some things winterized around the plant. I did camera 2 storm sewers at the park for Sean. I gave him the videos. The one, about 200, and, I think 38 or 68 feet. Pipe size goes from like a 24 down to, I'm guessing about 15. And you can see where they lined brick to fill in the gap between the big pipe and the little pipe. I couldn't get the camera through. And my other wheel set is such, because I'm set up for sanitary, which is 8, 10, 12 inch size pipe. I belly dragged across the ridges in the culvert, so I couldn't get any farther down. His concrete culvert, 150 feet down, and there's another. I look up in it and I don't see a storm grate, but there's a storm structure, and I can't get down through it and back up the other side of the pipe. Now I don't. Those are 3 outlets in the ditch, I think, 3 outlet pipes. There's a steep, I can't get up to one. Nobody knows which one correlates to the concrete pipe, to see if I can come up from the other direction, to see if, is that the only storm structure, or are they, it lines up about with that second, the dugout on the second Little League field. So I don't know, every 150 feet, is there a structure, or just, that's the only one. Concrete pipe looked good to that point. If they can figure out which pipe it is, or find another way to get in, I can maybe go backwards up the pipe and see what we can come up with there.
Can you talk about when we're trying to fill in all that excess dirt? What are you talking about?
Over by the baseball, where the shelter house down on that end, there's that long concrete structure I want to do something with. The pipe that comes out of that concrete structure goes down toward that, that's a shelter house down 200 and some feet, and then chokes down in pipe side. Concrete pipe's more over by the Little League field.
Well, we thought we were gonna have to put drainage in for the playground, but they came and determined we didn't need it, so
Okay.
we solved some of our problems.
Cause I know Sean, they gotta do something with that concrete box, he said.
Right. We didn't want kids falling in it.
Since the playground got longer,
Right.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
all
that-
right there, and the next thing you know, they'll be investigating, trying to figure out what to do with that.
And big full of sticks too.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's the concrete pipe over by Little League looks good, down to that 150 feet, but then there's a structure that I can't get through it, so if we can figure out on the other end, there's another manhole or something, I can try to run it backwards and see if that's the only piece, so. Been mowing in the right of ways. October the 10th, they recertified our backflow preventers. They'll send all that in the cast, they'll send all that to the water company, so we're compliant on that for another year. New hire. I'm waiting for Reedy's to tell me that I can up what I'm paying. I've got one, but it's not what I'm at, and I'm kind of in a stuck pattern. MPDS permit renewal, I did receive it, October the 2nd. Still in the process of going through it. So we had to have it in by the end of the year. I'd have it in by the end of the month to meet the requirement that no matter how long they take to process it, we'll still run on L. If I didn't get it in, then they don't get it done in time, then I don't have a valid permit. The next one is some items I've got on kind of repair list. I'm waiting, Reedy's to be filed some liens to kind of see where our income's at. No, the ditch one Rover 2 motor, I had to replace it. And then on the second sheet, had a pump go down at the treatment plant lift station. And Then I had a issue with the hydraulic, the cooler, kind of tied into the radiator on the skid on it. Those three I would have had to get replaced. Rest of them is kind of holding on to see how things shake out. And that's all I've got.
Any other questions, concerns for Scott? No? Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, next up to be street department, you said Sean's not gonna be here?
Correct.
Just to read his report, he did 25 roll case, had one choke up, 0 dogs, picked up limbs and yard waste, cleaned grates, emptied trash, cleaned downtown, watered flowers, mowed and weeded. Moved up parking, shelter house, cement, tree, and dirt moved out. We got 2 pieces of culvert pipe in, starting to fill in with dirt from the wall. And that would be strong. Move on to the Fourth Ward School Board.
Quick update from Parks, concrete work around the lower pool was put on hold. Of course, the original concrete quote issued was a verbal $82.50. Basketball court, open shelter house, small fence and playground have been removed. Some of the equipment from the new playground's been delivered. Assembly has not started yet as of today. Thanks to Sean for removing the tree by the power line, taking down the shelter house, hauling up the gravel, concrete, and pavement, and assisting with the equipment deliveries. The pool was winterized today. There's currently a hole in the liner of the big pool and a few little holes in the lower pool. Pool's gonna need a pretty significant cleaning next spring for opening. Thanks to Tom and his team for a very quiet year at the park. We were going back through and realized that the park hasn't received one complaint about being open, and that's the first. So that's a credit to their presence. I should have said each day here, but that's a credit to their presence each day. Just coming through and take a look around, that helps. Of course, I reiterate the same line I put there for prior months. To make slow and incremental improvements, park budget needs to be around 200,000 each year. Kevin and Mike should be wrapping up this week. This will be their last week. They will come back for other things. We got a couple pending things like some tree trimming and possibly some tree removal this fall. But other than that, they'll probably be gone most of the time. That'll end this Friday. Next meeting is November 5th at 7 o'clock. Any questions on that?
We need to get the pumps out of there.
Yeah, I never did get the quote from B&H to service those. I'm gonna guess that's gonna be cheap. They have those removed and serviced.
When I talked with,
Don,
Don, he came back and thought the quote was high, based upon it being quoted with having 2 guys there, how many days estimated, this and that. He thought it'd be best just call, having some of the guys. Found material rather than actual quote.
oh, okay. Good.
So,
Yeah, that would save, we're not worried about 2. It's the one outlier that hasn't been replaced in the last 2 years. It's gonna be potentially the problem. But it's already serviced and ready to go. We're not in that same situation again, which makes it.
But are we gonna take them and store them in the street department or at B&H?
B&H would store them. They would pull them out, they would take them down, service them, repair them, whatever needed, and then store it. And then we call them in the spring and they would come to deliver and install those pumps.
I don't think there's any enough charges. Our place is very quick.
Will you do that then?
I'll talk with Don and just see if yeah.
Have a whole- Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You said Mike and, Tom and Mike are down,
Mike and Kevin.
Mike Kevin, sorry.
Yeah, they should be done this week.
Are we gonna have some baseball?
No fall.
Football?
And I don't expect very bad spring or summer.
Did he ever bring that 800?
He'll bring it by. He's wrapping things easier right now, so he's probably just letting he has the last round of checks.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Tomorrow, all the shades delivered at 8 AM. Anybody wants to know? All the playground stuff is delivered, tomorrow shade. And eventually delivered, and then Jeremy should be done with all the grading, probably 2 more days. And then we didn't need drainage, so that was saved us a little bit of money. And, yeah, so we took all the excess dirt, put it over in the, the terrible culvert that you come, so that's how bad was that.
The ditch.
It is. I don't know what that is, but.
That's a ravine.
It-
You just
So,
call it.
then on the side, it had some dirt put in there. And then, Tom's been doing security checks over there, turning them twice a night, the kind of board and such flooding there.
I think they're going every 3 hours.
I just wanted to just go over there. And then, Monday, they'll show up to begin installation. I don't know how long the installation will take. The Monday is installation, midweek is, gravel for volley, for basketball court. It has to rain twice, I guess, and then the asphalt, probably 2 weeks after that, we'll have basketball court. That was my meeting. I don't know when the goals will be here yet. I haven't got, they're paid for, but I haven't got, delivery date yet. So thank you for your forklift, because that was a immense amount of help.
Anytime.
Just think we're getting that tomorrow morning too, right? I hope you don't just.
No, but it's there.
Okay. Well, the college of 9 foot, we weren't prepared to have, so it's gonna, we need actually 2 forklifts instead of 1 to get long, so. 9 foot panels are pretty big.
2 forklifts, same time.
Yeah, one going this way, one going this way, but everyone's standing there, don't fall. Don't fall, but, yeah, it looks great, I'm excited. The next, probably next Monday, Tuesday, we'll have. Something else. Now we've got, Sean was supposed to get some, but I know you had to take his wife today, some quotes for shelter, like an enclosed shelter. Because he's having some quotes for the sand building, so he's supposed to look at that. It's when we done that, we applied for people range, so fingers crossed.
All right, moving on to school board update. Elementary project is nearing completion. The bleachers are inside the building. They just haven't been installed completely. Still got some flooring sections in the transition hallway and some small checklist items on the outside of the building remaining. It's not completed yet. The elementary HVAC project has been completed now. We were officially approved for the Ready grant. Grant total was $845,000, which will help pay for the roadways, the parking lot, and the infrastructure for the lots we're having there in that small addition. We're hoping to have the Service Street section and Elm Way to Water Street dedicated to the town in the very near future. That, would you please reach out to David?
Sure, I'm in discussion with the attorney for the other parcel as well.
Okay.
Another time I'm gonna have confirmation that the road is all done and good to go.
Yeah.
So, I'm just confirming the legal description at this point. So once we get that from Dan, we'll be able to finalize everything.
Or is there the corporation office? That's
Sure.
We're ready for that. Year over year, enrollment is down 16 students from this time last year. Not surprising. It's kind of, we were kind of projecting down 20, so we're pretty close. Then a very successful fall sports season. Volleyballs and regionals, cross country, qualifiers and regionals, and football just wrapped up an undefeated season. So pretty good year for them. And sections for them start this Friday. Next meeting for school boards tomorrow, 7:30. Corporation.
So I wonder, if you had, you can send everybody to do. Remember how we talked about the do
Everybody's gonna have that folder. Put some in there for you to do,
to go,
What's that?
the Duke stuff, but make sure.
they prepared the easement documents?
Yep.
Okay,
Roger.
so paying you $10,492, I got Greg Hutchison, since he works for Duke, and the school board over there. To look at it, they determined the cost, if we did not do this, the cost to the school would be $5,100.
Okay.
So, he told me to get hold of a grant person at Duke, which I did, but I've got no response. So I don't know if you want to present tomorrow at the school board.
Has this been brought up to me yet?
It has not, I went and talked to Jay, but he wanted costs. I did not know cost. So, but I told Greg said ask,
If I can get a copy of that.
okay, but it does not have the school portion on here. because the town has to pay for the school portion. You have to reimburse the town.
Okay.
So I don't know
So 5,100 of these 10,4
if
would be
school.
Just right on the 51. School portion.
So I don't know how we would do that. Do we want to wait and see if the school?
And you're talking about the lights that connect the volleyball court
Orders, we make a copy of that.
to the playground area,
Do
correct?
we have that whole thing? We might have that.
I think it's the one right where showing the new retreat this week. Or,
Yes.
the map.
yeah.
On the back.
And we have to grant the easement up to there. We have
You guys can have it emailed to you.
do have to grant the easement around.
Oh,
Now, was this from due to bury the line?
Yes.
All in the room? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend anyway.
All under-
Anything around baseball, tennis, playground area should be in the room.
You
Yeah.
you want the map too?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can run it too.
You want the whole easement packet?
Sure. That's one of those $51 million.
I'll make sure I'll send you the email. With this 51.
Question on Sugar Street going down, is there anything else that needs to be done by Spurgeon on that little hill part, is that finalized?
Don't know that. I just was connecting with those guys today. They said,
That's fine.
if
I wasn't
if
sure
that's there,
exactly.
throw on, hey, just reach out, see about that. But yeah, that's,
One, I had my only concern was originally, I was like, I wonder how it's gonna end up, and also they paved it over, it looks nice. But the functionality of, there's gonna be some kind of barrier, or anything else, looking to take that over.
I'm not sure, I just need to find out, okay, and I do have a follow-up question concerning that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, Sonny, here's the exact amount. You ready?
The school portion?
$5,119.56, but that is their portion of that 10,000.
$5,119 and
56 cents. That's just, they won't give us a bill for that, but that's the reference of how much it would be. Somebody got
Gotcha.
an email from Duke, had to care of it. That's the amount. But they cannot be billed, like I said, separately. It has to be billed to the town and then you guys reimburse the town. So that's not bad on either part, I don't think, $5,000.
have that buried all the way up there to the edge of the playground. Yeah.
So I don't know if we wanna wait to see what you guys say tomorrow, you guys approve it, then maybe the next meeting we approve it. I think we have until November.
I wouldn't worry about that being approved.
You would? Was there any approve it or what? You don't worry about this?
I mean, we'll have, well, I'll have to add it to the agenda, like, tonight. But yeah, it'll be,
And then we can do it next meeting, yeah. Have him see exactly what the easy document.
I was reading through it, it's pretty standard.
Cause that would still be October, right? You know. Okay, as long as you do it, put on there next time, it's the sixth is
the
the.
maps on the last page. I believe.
If you have just be paying it the next day, our invoice will do on the sixth. Put $30 on the third, put $30 on the third.
No, just remind me.
So will you let us know by the third, Brian?
because of the- yeah, I just complaining about you.
And I've already signed the ordinance and had it, yes. So I'll just hold everything.
And then did you ask Jordan, do they be knowing that when they're ordering the baseball lights? Do they need to know that?
Oh my goodness, they're running it all the way down to the little shelter house. Well, no wonder it's 10,000. Okay, I thought you were going to the edge of the playground.
No,
Well, somebody is gonna ask this question, so I'm gonna ask it now. If it's going from that one section right next to the tennis courts, the school will be paying for half this, but only getting
okay.
25, maybe.
So if
20% of
the
the line?
town decides not to do this, then proceed.
Yeah.
Then we still need that wire removed because it's in the play area.
Yeah.
That's the 5,000.
Have it removed.
To have that removed and we grant the easement and you put yours to where it needs to go. So that's why we thought if we work together and we all do it. And not just force you guys to do your 5,000 portion. See
So
what
I
I'm
asked
saying?
that because, yeah, that will come up.
Right.
So, no, that it goes all, I didn't realize it was running all the way down to the shelter house. Okay. Yes, that would happen also. Good. I'll bring this up tomorrow night.
Just a couple quick follow-up questions then. So with respect to the, dedication, with the portion from the school.
Yeah.
So there's a deed that needs to be prepared.
Yeah.
And that's a relatively small legal task once we do get the finalized legal. Typically, the person that owns the property prepares the deed. Do you have contact for your legal counsel, so I can discuss this matter with them?
I told Jay, it's church, answer in the middle.
Okay. And again, I
I
can
think
do it.
it's Jessica. I told you.
Does the town council have, provide me authority to prepare the deed if the school wants me to do that? Okay. No problem. And then with respect to the, pivoting to the other section that was deeded over to the Hoosier Christian Village. That was the new owners. The only issue that I have is, again, it looks like I'm gonna be preparing the deed for that as well. So there had been discussion about requiring speed bumps to be put in that little triangle section. Is that something you want me to place in the deed?
I thought the school can put the speed bumps in.
You're talking about from Hoosier Christian Village, that section there.
This is not from the
Technically
school.
unneeded
Oh, okay.
This is not from the school, this is a separate transaction, so
Yeah.
I don't mean to muddy the water. So there's two dedications, one from the piece that Jade advised be conveyed to Hoosier Christian Village. Okay, and then there's a piece that is currently held by the school.
Yeah.
Because we never, the piece was conveyed to Hoosier Christian Village successors and interests. We then are having that dedicated to us. But I know that there were some concerns about speed in that area, so if now is the time to have that addressed. So if you want me to have that as a stipulation, then I can do it, particularly if it looks like I'm drafting the deed. But I just need authorization, or do you guys want me to request speed bumps or not?
I'm trying to remember if that was their request, our request, whose request?
I know.
thought they requested it because of it was near their homes.
Mhm.
Oh, those townhome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. They would
Well,
like.
they're not the speed, but right from that intersection and that main road into the school area wouldn't be fast. I think it would be on the road going from Hoosier Christian Village up.
Drop it to school.
Oh, they want from the.
Well,
road to the
I thought
school.
it was a request from our end. I just need to make sure it's clear, because I'd like to do this as economically as possible. So if I have clear direction.
I wouldn't see speed being an issue turning into the school side. It would be going all the way down the road to Hoosier Christian Village, because it's all downhill. People feel pretty quick down through there.
On Sugar?
Yeah,
Yes.
going down towards the Hoosier Christian Village, they kind of scoot along. And you have a lot of
So those speed bumps
not,
right after the.
it's not suspect drivers making their way down there. It's kind of,
So would it be in front of the homes that are owned by Hoosier Christian Village?
Right
where the
past the
speed
turn
limit?
on?
yeah, or right out there at that intersection, somewhere right in there, yeah, might not be either on this,
Okay.
maybe on both sides of that intersection.
And I think the main concern was probably cutting through those apartments to the school, but there's that little curve in there where you have to.
Yeah, it's designed, you get from down there into a building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and they're not gonna be able to get much speed through that.
Totally up to you guys. It's up to me wherever. You point me in the right direction, I'll go.
I feel like after the turn off, you've got to slow down because the end's there.
Yeah, from our perspective, once they leave the parking lot, they have to make an S curve.
Yeah.
And then a short straight stretch from here to, my truck parked out there that's in front of a couple of homes. I don't see them getting speed there. I see speed come down the main road.
Yeah, but after your left turn, going south, I don't see speed past that either, because it dead ends down there.
It does, but people go pretty
They-
fast.
Where the little apartment things are,
Mhm.
I don't, it dead ends down there, I don't really see a lot of speed. I
Well,
mean,
and at the end of
I
the day, we don't own it, so the owners of the, well, actually, we would, no, you're dedicating it to us.
Yeah.
So we can do what we want.
And that little section right there was undeeded originally, wasn't it?
It was actually, well, can be confusing because there's multiple owners with multiple parcels, but that particular area, was owned by a farmer. A section of it was.
I thought it was an undeeded section, undeeded. Yeah.
So you just need to know if the town wants speed bumps.
Yeah, and with either of these deeds.
I don't know really. of see.
Let's do this.
I would almost say play it by ear and see how it goes for the first. When we start using that path, see how, see what, you know.
Was, someone had mentioned, I don't know if I saw it on Facebook, but maybe the traffic pattern had changed for pickup
Yes.
drop off.
Just slightly.
Is there a plan?
It's not using that road.
I was at, is there a plan to use that road?
No, well, there might be. That's a building.
Yeah.
Administrator decision.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not using that road. That is not part of the traffic flow.
Okay.
Mainly the ones that use that are the locals that know how to get to the softball diamond that way. That's
Well,
what they're using that
We
route.
kept behind us, going to CVS, drop and take a ride, going back around, trying to avoid any traffic they
So,
can.
yeah, same people that cut through, CVS parking lots, the ones that were shooting down that road. All the signage is gonna still point to the main, what technically, Waterhouse Road or whatever you wanna call it. All the signage is there, so.
And just by way of, refresh folks' memories, one of the issues was that with the respect to the property that was conveyed to the Hoosier Christian Village folks, that section includes the front yards of these retirement homes. So they didn't want to deed the entire parcel over, because then they would have been getting, and frankly, we wouldn't want for liability fees, maintaining the front yards of retirement. So, ultimately, we worked with the council, and that's the reason why we needed to get a new legal description, which I believe that's been completed. Yeah, so that's it, and then if you guys have any speed bumps, that once I get the legal says.
On our end, that we would do that, I think that might have been potentially the successor of the Christian Village, that had that concern.
If I've been in discussion with the attorneys for Hoosier Christian Village, they have not raised it as an issue for me. I can convey the deed to them for their signatures without it. That's why they have to, so if they want to include it, that's up to them. I'm for sure not involved in the public meeting, so.
Yeah.
And the only other issue would be, and if you don't need this, I can ask Jade, the person who will be signing on behalf of the school, would that be Jade?
That would probably be 10.
Ken's fully on there.
First and last name, I don't know his full name now. Tim Taylor's his first and last name.
Ten favor. Right, great, I'll confirm all that, Jade. All right, thank you.
I thought I had a drawing in here.
I thought for some reason, I was like, I'm gonna look at this, so,
Do you need his email or phone?
Jade's?
No, 10, or Jay could share that with you.
Yeah, no problem, I'll reach out to Jade, I know
Jay's more involved in the street process.
absolutely, yeah. I know he had some questions that were pending, but I wanted to discuss it with my clients before I spoke to Jade.
We'll be deciding.
I think that we're gonna just
We're gonna
let it
pursue
ride.
that.
Okay.
Any other questions from Brian? Okay. Thanks, sir. Move on to old business. First up, the final reading of adoption of the 2026 budget.
The final reading is for the 2026 budget, $2,394,901. We've got the first and the second, tonight's the final and the adoption. I have the signature pages.
You have that printed out anywhere? I couldn't find it for a while, last time I did it.
No, but you guys are not. I can make props to that.
We'll go ahead and sign this and what we're supposed to do. Go ahead, vote and sign it. We're gonna go vote and sign it. Any questions on that? If not, I entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the 2026 budget.
Chris making motions or second? Second. Brian making a second. All those in favor of the budget as presented, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. And so that passes.
How does someone name wrong with that?
You want?
Correct it on there,
Just
please.
for, yeah, right.
I'm writing notes. Who-
Chris Lindro. Moving on with the adoption of the surplus inventory policy. Everybody has a copy of it.
Everybody should, yes.
Thanks for bringing that.
From a couple meetings ago.
It's a policy that I drafted, in order to make this process. Remember, it's an issue that, raises its head pretty frequently, so I thought it'd be easier to just, diagram a step-by-step process that I'm not supposed to follow, and then you make the policy official, and pass the resolution. This is in line with the issues that will run on the sewer department with respect to selling some, surplus equipment. But this basic policy can also be utilized for any type of equipment that needs to be sold, junk, police cars, things of that nature. Yeah, it was in the last meeting, I want to hold off, but just so that way it can be properly noticed, in case there's anyone to make about it in public.
Tim saw it last meeting, but since Crystal and Greg were gone, they don't know. You should all have that. I think the email came from.
From your office?
I think so. It was probably a couple weeks ago now.
You already submitted it. Okay.
I just basically took the statutes and ordinances and distilled them down into a step-by-step process.
Well, I think that's great. We've always been lacking.
And there's sort of a summary at the end, and then I hope to try to make it. And obviously, I'm not back to answer any questions in the event that something gets sold, but, and in this event, these trucks are particularly unique and may or may not have much market value, so. That was a good opportunity to try to make things a little more efficient as we proceed.
And we have a police car too. It'll be 2025-12.
Okay.
Gets approved.
Great.
So I'll ask, we go ahead and approve this, you get the ordinance, we'll bring the release done.
I believe this should be self-contained. I think today we can go ahead.
Okay. She said 2025-12.
Yep. Then, we could have done it last session, but I don't know, it's caution. I just wanted to make sure that it was publicly noticed. So, I mean, we had a question about it, because I know there could be some questions about people wanting to buy police cars from the private side. This discussed all the options, and then anybody who has a question about it, we can go out. In this case, we may use an auctioneer, or in certain circumstances, we could sell it directly to another municipality or city, which has different sets of rules.
All right, any questions on the policy for the disposition of surplus personal property? If not, I'd entertain a motion. Go ahead and call this ordinance 2025-12.
Yes, please.
Okay. I move that we approve ordinance 2025-12. Okay, Brian makes a motion, is there a second?
Second.
You need to keep the second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. And so that passes. So we have, sign here. While it goes around, one of the old business would be, last meeting set the Halloween hours for 31st from 6 to 8. That you can reach out saying, hey, that's eventually going to be hosting a football game. If you want to bring it back up when they had any issues. I was kind of the mindset of there's any trunk or treats or anything else going on. Like they'd be more apt to be able to move their times if they wanted to do stuff around football. But I'll leave it up to you guys if we need to adjust these hours or anything else, but
Well, we just left it because, there's 2 hours prior to the game. That we're having trick or treat, we figured. Really, they trick or treat 2 hours.
so our hours 6 to 8, it's an hour before the game.
Hour. I thought we ended up doing 5.
No, we did 6 to
Yeah.
6.
6 to 8, and I was like about 5, but.
Main Street has made theirs at 5.
Okay, so
We're
Main
handing out street bags at the courthouse.
And that was kind of my hope was that potentially,
They lined that up with us, so if we change ours, we kind of messed up there.
they want theirs up to be the first.
Yes, at 5, and then I had all those 9 people there.
Yeah.
Officers handing out, handing out candy, then trick or treat the 10.
Yes.
Wouldn't be a reason to be able to, I know St. Peter's usually has their trick or treat right there at that same time, so we can kind of. I don't know, if it's one where we, do we publicize anybody on the street wants to bring candy, pass it out.
That's what I
Feel
thought.
free, everybody just have a big block of people down there at the same time, the road gets blocked off at 6:30, should be, traffic. So, and that would be. Okay, that's when we bring it back up and see if anybody had any.
Probably walk them a little earlier, given the circumstances, if the church is going to have there. Unfortunately, but. We wanted to just close that section, because it doesn't affect their driveway, but.
Doesn't affect the driveway, we expect to be, how many times we expect to come through the park on the other side of.
Let's know, I'm using one of the ones that put the barrier up. So, it's, I mean, if you wanna go.
Yeah, I mean, we could just
30 minutes,
advertise
really,
that we're gonna close it 30 minutes earlier, that way,
I-
ours is in the
I
area.
don't think anybody would complain.
I think the biggest issue is making sure we can notify the fans of the other team to say, hey, partner will be here, there'll be triggers, they're, will be closed.
Federally ordered thing. But they're usually,
There's gonna be a lot of.
they're usually their cheerleading buses and stuff come through about 6:15. That'll be a busy night.
We,
If it's- I mean, it's paid.
redirect to
Yeah, auditorium, I'm sorry, the main lot. I bet we fill both.
main lot, or even if they come the other way
I
past.
bet we fill it both lots that night.
I guarantee
If it's paid, we'll fill both places.
Right, and we want people.
It'll be a big crowd.
But I feel like they'd still be able to come through, like,
High Street.
High Street. to get there if they needed to. So maybe us getting with.
Can't this, yes, the school should be able to just let them know, and we get stuff from other schools all the time saying, park here, drive here.
Yeah.
We can do the same thing to them.
But we also don't want them going up through High Street either. So it's kind of a tricky uphill turn.
It's not the buses, yeah, traffic wouldn't be bad, but the buses, yeah, you might have to let the buses through.
Typically, the bus is my problem.
I say
It's the,
it's the.
well,
cheerleaders coming in.
it's not like the football buses that are problem. They're usually there.
They'll be there long before.
It's the cheerleading bus,
Right,
if they bring a fan bus, if they, their parents, they get there early.
I would think we could direct the buses to the big parking lot, but then tell them all their parents and stuff go the other way. I might as well. By the time I park out there, it'll be-
So I might say, hey, is it?
It's closing at 6 would be early, I'm just gonna say that, closing at 6 would be early. Yeah. It doesn't see that much action until closer to 6:30.
I would say, usually by 6:30, people kind of know that. On my end, I put it up.
Yes, from our side, everybody, 6:30, it's getting shut down.
Things from there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that's one that we try to work in conjunction with Elm Street and the town says, hey, surgery hours still 6 to 8. Come on out.
Please avoid Elm Street.
Or come down the street.
I
and go
could
get
say, come
candy.
down the street and get candy. Who wouldn't do that? For the kids, I'm saying yes.
If it's after a game has started, fans will be annoyed if people are trying to interrupt them to get candy when they're trying to watch the game. Coming from a fan standpoint, that it would drive me nuts every time I'm trying to watch the game. I have to turn around and hand some kid candy. That's not me.
Especially a section like tournament game.
Yeah, I mean a game that actually matters.
6 to 7.
So I don't think you would have fans be willing after 7 o'clock to hand it out. Personally, I could be wrong.
From 6 to 7, they can do Elm Street.
I would say 6:30. After 6:30, most things we use.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure St. Peter's is still having theirs at that time.
And they have access to.
They still have access.
Also Bridge Street.
So I don't know if we can, sign us to promote it, but like, hey, St. Peter's, St. Peter's said it was fine with doing it. But whether we do it 6 to 7, where do we promote that, or do we find out when there are trunk or treats and say, hey, you know, there's sectional game coming up, but you can still hit these
I'll
spots.
probably see it.
Yeah.
It's just.
The only hiccup is that the Presbyterian Church would happen to have some guy with there.
Yeah, they still get different.
You can still get there through that desk, through the neighborhood too.
Well, that's much tougher.
And those parking spaces will be gone. Down their drive.
Yeah.
Better cancel the game.
Sounds like the
game just needs to move.
So, all right, so we'll keep with 6 to 8, continue Cove Road 6:30. Okay, nothing changed.
So now we're jumping on Elm Street.
Probably, I don't know who would actually promote it. Like, it's not for us to promote, the school doesn't really, it's.
We would have to look at that.
Maybe up to a group or somebody else and say, hey,
I have so many that I would just say, hey, go trick or treat over there,
Well,
you know?
we closed it off for safety reasons. I hate it, you know.
I would just be having ready to say Peters. Be all right there. If there's anybody coming from the game, they can run up there, grab something, come back out. It's gonna be a zoo. No, like it's gonna be.
It would be.
What's the weather supposed to be like?
If it's
Yeah,
this,
too far
it'll
out.
definitely be a zoo for the football game. It's nice.
So that is a concern now. It's really nice.
It's really nice that it will be a zoo. Everything in town will be a zoo.
I know
That's
what
what
we
you
want.
want. You want to have a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're looking for.
One night. It'll be all right.
But the older people are the ones that trick or treat. I want Spring Street. It's not the young people that hand out the candy. It's the older people on Spring Street that don't go to the ball game. That are go to the houses to trick or treat.
Yeah.
Then I'm just, well, that's still big. Right, some of the neighborhoods might be able to go less, you know, like your neighborhood, if I'm not something.
Well,
Most of the time they come from out of town.
Yeah, 90% of ours are out.
I meant like maybe people won't be home. Is what I meant, like,
90% of the ones we get right now are even from Preston.
their game.
We've never
They
ever
come
had a
with
trick or treat at our house.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Not once.
On New Street, we don't get anybody anymore. We used
No
to-
one has stopped by my house in 20 years.
I know there's people like me.
Vans down there.
Yeah.
Every carpet.
I live right down next door to the stall guy. Deli.
I live on Spring Street too.
Yeah, I've never had a trick or treat. Now,
we.
we don't even have a porch light, so it can't be
They're
turned
not
on.
really. Where do they
Yeah,
go?
they
Get by, Brian, you know?
Most of the time,
And they drop them off.
Yeah.
it'd be nice to be in one place for
But we
people
don't
that
even
normally
have
have
our
to pass
license,
over game.
watch and
So they can set up, it's all right there.
everything.
and
You
it's-
should know.
You will figure it out. We'll have our lights and everything.
We're always up at the church doing a trunk or treat or a harvest party or something. We were never even home. My kids never went trick or treating. I'm a terrible parent.
That was too late. So what you did, big fuck.
Uh,
What if we lose that?
I'm gonna say. Anything else from the old business? Okay, all right, moving on to new business.
Yay! I got 49% battery, so hopefully, which could mean only 15 minutes on my computer. So, do you mind if I set it right by your stuff?
All right.
Okay. Hi, guys. I don't want to spill that either, but I could. All right, let's hope that this works here. Is it on?
No, my time don't.
Oh, I think I went to sleep.
Okay, awesome. Can you guys see this? All right, super exciting presentation today. So, as you guys know, we have now wrapped up our multi-year sewer improvements project. We started this PER in about 2020, so it's been about 5 years that we've been working through this. And just to do a quick little review, so we started with the preliminary engineering report. I'll go through this part really quick. As most of you guys know, you have to do a preliminary engineering report, a study to assess what's needed in a community. You write a report on it, you put a cost estimate together, it goes in front of the state revolving fund for a loan for funding. And if you get selected, then you either get a low interest loan or a loan at their AAA rate, which is still a better rate than if you went out to like an open market. So Brownstown was selected for the pooled funding, so they got the AAA rate. So when we did this study, we looked at improvements at the Bologna Road lift station. So like pumps, new guide rails, new floats, valves, new fencing, new SCADA system, which is, if you're not familiar with SCADA, it's just programming alerts. A lot of rehabilitation. With this, we also did new electrical, and then the new vac truck kind of got looped into this because that vac truck is used a lot at Bologna Road. Bob Thomas lift station, which is the lift station that is right off of the highway when you come into the town from the east, or at least I think that's the east. That one was kind of new everything. That lift station was already moved from a previous location. Not a lot of people knew how old it was, where it came from. We just knew that Mitchell and Stark had a hand in the moving of it, so we got a little bit of information for them. But it basically just needed to be completely redone as well. Sanitary sewer and rehab. So we had a whole list of lines that needed to be CIPP lined, a lot of manholes that needed some rehabilitation, spray lined or replaced. A lot of frame and covers needed to be raised to grade so that when you're driving down the road, you're not going to dunk every time you cross over a frame and cover. This should be somewhat familiar, as we did a whole project for lining and manhole rehab in 2017, 2018 as well. And I'll jump back here. You'll see these costs again, but Bologna Road lift station estimated cost in the study was a little over $2 million. Bob Thomas lift station, $770,000. Sanitary sewer and rehab and replacement was $2.3 million. And again, these are all estimated costs that were in the study. Wastewater treatment plant hasn't had work on it since maybe 2000, I think was the last time it was really touched. So it was honestly surprising that it was in such good of shape, but it's also not that surprising because Scott runs everything very, very well and maintains everything better than any other community that I know. So there were some things though that no matter how well you maintain it, it eventually needs to be replaced. So the influent fine screen, grit classifier, clarifier number 1 equipment, clarifier number 2 equipment,
UV disinfection system. Some of the stuff like the UV disinfection, it wasn't in bad shape. It's just that by the time you look at replacement parts, they're not built to last more than 20 years. And so these companies kind of do their next model, and then you can never find replacement parts for the previous model. So even though it wasn't in bad shape, it needed to be replaced for that reason too. And then also some improvements to the building. A lot of new roofs were in bad shape and gutters and such. New plant water lines, and also some other just random improvements. So that being said, that one was only almost 1.9 million. And then various storm structure rehab and replacements. Since the town didn't have a storm utility, there were a lot of drainage complaints, concerns about flooding in different areas. So we looked at doing some rehabilitation and replacement of some storm structures as well. And that was 133,000. So in total, during the PER phase, it looked like the estimated construction project cost was going to be about 7.2 million. Jump to design. So when we did the design, we just tried to keep a lot of that approved scope and go with the same scope, maybe a couple tweaks here and there, depending on any changes that we saw as we got further into the design process. But for the most part, all stayed the same. So treatment plant improvements all stayed the same. Same with Bologna Road, Bob Thomas. Overall SCADA and electrical improvements, that's its own line item because that itself is expensive. So the PER amount was estimated at 4.8 for the wastewater treatment plant and lift stations, which ended up being contract A of contract A and B. And the bid amount was 3.7. So the bid actually came in lower than what we estimated. Looking at sanitary and storm replacement, we kind of kept the same scope as well. So a lot of CIPP lining. Something to note is the 5.5-inch lining and even the 6-inch lining. I mean, the state itself doesn't consider any pipe less than 8 inches to be considered a sanitary sewer main. But a lot of older communities have smaller pipes because they didn't have that rule way back then. So it still, in most cases, is cheaper to line it than it is to go ahead and dig and replace it, but it is hard to find people that will line. It's considered lateral lining at that point, and it can get expensive. So that was something that got added after we did a little bit more digging in the design process. Manhole lining, replacement structures of both sanitary and storm. And then for that, the bid amount came in at almost 3 million. PER estimate was 2.5. So a little bit lower on the treatment plant and lift stations, a little bit higher on the rehab. So project summary, the PER estimated project cost was 7.2, and then the contracted project cost was almost 6.7. So again, lower than what we had initially estimated. All good things. So completed construction. Wastewater treatment plant lift station changes. So we did the full design scope that I had already talked about, but there were a couple saving areas. So there was value engineering savings at the Bob Thomas lift station. This was with the help of Mitchell and Stark, the contractor, to give us a little bit insight of this is how we would install it if we just started from a big trench hole in the ground. That can give us some savings, and it did. It removed $213,000 from the overall contract cost. Then we added some improvements to the lift station and the force main, so that added 52,000. Some of those were replacing some air release valves on the Bologna Road lift station force main. Added some improvements to the wastewater treatment plant equipment, so that added about 80,000. And then there was a savings from there was an allotment for the water line that goes underneath the railroad, and we didn't end up needing to use all of that, so that removed 16,000. And when I say it's removing costs, it's moving the cost from the contract into then a contingency fund ready to be used for other things. So in total, on the wastewater treatment plant and lift station, the town saved about $98,000 from the initial scope. So the final amount for that was $3.6 million, which again, lower than what was even bid. Sanitary and storm sewer rehab and replacement. So this was the installed scope. various changes, and these changes would have happened because when we were in the study phase or the design phase, we were making estimates about how long some sewers were, how deep some manholes were. Everything on a sanitary and storm side gets billed as a unit cost and based on quantity rather than a lump sum. So the measurements just came out less than we had planned. So we saved about $67,000 there. Final amount again came in under the bid amount. So great news on that as well. So bonus scope. This I think is where we really want to like focus on, because you saw that there was savings on contract A with the initial scope and savings on contract B with the initial scope. So the town was able to add some lining. They did a little bit more 6-inch CIPP lining and 8-inch CIPP lining, some more manhole lining, more sanitary rehab on 76 additional manholes, 3 additional point repairs. That's where they repaired the sewer without needing to line the whole sewer, replace the whole sewer. The town also was able to get a new CCTV camera, which it sounds like Scott's already been putting to use, so that's great. They were able to also include belt filter press rebuild improvements and get a new crane truck. And the town also put some dollars towards putting a stormwater study together. So in total changes, the town got $1.4 million worth of work more than what was initially scoped. So of that contingency, the initial contingency for the project was $800,000. That contingency is usually set aside for if something goes wrong on the project, then you have to do change orders, then you have a pot of money that you can pull from, kind of almost like a little side piggy bank savings. So because the project went really well and we actually were able to save a lot of that initial scope, none of that contingency really had to be used for things that went wrong in construction and got to actually be used towards completing more work for the community. Reallocated engineering. So there were some costs that Westler didn't use that we shifted over into the contingency pot as well for the town to also use. Miscellaneous reallocated savings. So this was just other miscellaneous line items on SRF's budget line, that things like the asset management plan. Scott ended up doing a lot of that on his own rather than paying us $25,000 to do it. So that was $25,000 worth of savings for the town right there. So little things that accumulate went into that miscellaneous reallocated savings number. And then earned interest. So this was a big dollar amount. And while the IFA or SRF is holding all of this money, they're also allowing that money to accrue interest. So because it was, by the time it bid, a 3-year project, over 3 years, the town made almost $500,000 just on interest that got to be put towards doing additional work for the community as well. So we added a lot more sewer rehab. Scott kept giving us lists of, hey, this area would be really good to fix. We're having a lot of issues. We see a lot of I&I here. These manholes are old. They could be lined, some bricks, some block. So that all got added and paid for by that earned interest. And then overall, this loan interest rate is, when I was saying that you guys got that pooled funding and got to go with their AAA rate, your whole loan is only at a 3.3% interest rate, which is great right now. If you went out to the open market, it'd be higher than that. So that's good. All right. Any questions so far? I'm trying to whip through this because I don't know how long my battery's going to last. But I have a couple graphics. So sewer rehab pre-2018. So 2018, 2017, 2018 is when Westler was working with Scott to complete a huge sewer lining project for the community. So before that sewer lining project, from what we could find, it looked like that this was the town sewer system, and there's kind of hard to see, but there's like a line right here and a line right there and right there, where that was kind of the only sewer rehab that the town had, at least that we have record of. So that could be wrong, you can speak otherwise, but that's what we had. So after that project was done, all of the pink, and I know this is probably kind of hard to see, but all of the pink, and these are the manholes and the sewer segments that were rehabbed first, whether it be cast in place lining, CIPP lining, or manhole lining. So it looked like there was a good amount of the community that got started in their rehab. So then what we bid out work for in 2022 was all of this. So a lot more than what was even in your 2017 scope. And then what was completed. And so this includes all of the sewer lines that were done in 2018, and then what was done as part of the bid, and then what even got done additionally with all of the accrued interest and savings from the different parts of the project. So a lot. So there's really maybe a couple lines throughout here that haven't been done, a community here, and then this. And other than that, the town has almost all completely had sewer rehab, manhole rehab done to it, which I do this every day, and there's not a lot of communities that have this much work on their sewer system. So I think that's great. Scott's already staying ahead of the curve, as always, on maintaining not only the equipment at the plant, but also your guys' sewer system. And as a one-man show right now, that also makes it a little bit easier on him not having to go out and deal with issues throughout the system that happen when you don't have pipes that are in as good a condition as basically like new. So yeah, any questions? Well, I just put it together, but it's really all Scott, so.
And just to give you guys a little heads up, in 2017, I think we did, what, 30,000 feet of line?
Mhm.
We did close to, was it 15 or 16?
Oh.
On this
There we go.
project? Can't remember.
Yeah, I didn't put the total there, but I mean, the bonus scope was somewhere around 15,000. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sewer lining, but also manhole lining, so.
We've got about 10,000 feet or less of vitrified clay pipe, and then everything else in town, it'd be lined or PVC. So hopefully in the next, I think, is it every 5, we can qualify for a grant, I think. Hopefully in the next segment, then we can wipe out all that, and everything needs to be lined or PVC. We'll have no more clay pipe.
Is that every 5 years based upon when it was awarded, or by completion, or?
It's-
Only 5?
It should be, Okra should be when it was, I think, awarded, but that'd be more of a Shannon question. And I think it also varies, because I think if you wait 7 years, then I think that you can get
You
even
score
more.
higher.
Yeah, you score higher. So, but yeah, the Okra grant stuff, Shannon would probably be able to speak a little bit more on. SRF, you could go back to SRF and request another loan if you wanted to. Obviously, I mean, this was a great example of working with Okra and SRF, because you got some grant dollars and were able to get a really low interest loan. But obviously, if you can get Okra dollars, free money. So this also had free money, but only because of how well the project went. So, because you got so much accrued interest. So, yeah. But I know it was a long project, so I hope it went as smooth as you guys hoped it would. Probably hiccups here and there with community members, and always having construction and people lining, and probably some partial road closures here and there, but we appreciate you guys sticking it out for about 3 years of construction, so yeah. Any questions? Complaints? Scott's here if you need to put your sewer in front of your home top of the list, so.
So when did it actually start, the construction and everything?
2022 is when it was bid, yep. And then it wrapped up around June, July of 2025, so.
We appreciate all your hard work and working Scott to help us get as much bonus scope as we can, so.
Yeah. Great. I love working in Brownstown. Scott's just the easiest client, so he's the most organized client, that's for sure. Which makes my job way easier, so I appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
And I'm glad my computer last, so.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. Moving on, we've got. We have.
Yeah.
We've got outside water spigots for 121 North Main Street.
What's her name here? Peggy Raines came over and talked to me. 417 North Elm is the Presbyterian Church, and then 121 North Main is her. She wants to have outside water spigots put in to help her with her watering, and wants to do it without it being hooked to the sewer. Is that the way that's done, or I don't even know how to. She wants an outside water spigot to turn on without it being hooked to her sewer, because it's only gonna water flowers. Is that a way an outside spigot's done or
Is
not?
there
I
a
don't
way
know.
for her to collect what she's shooting into the alleyway and use that water?
Yeah, what has she got down beside the building?
She is using all that.
Collecting from her.
Yeah, collecting all her
Downspout.
downspout water, yes. But at the church and her, she would like to put in, or outside spigots up to the sewer, I don't know.
Based on
Your
the water
water
use. And the pool bills, the only thing they know that
Oh, she bring up the building.
Yes, she doesn't want to charge her sewer for the 2 water spigots.
So someone needs to grant if you water your yard, it costs you hundreds.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what I'm here to talk about. But not just mine for.
I told her that I would ask and present it. I don't know. She wants to do outside water spigots put in one at the church, one at her house. But not be charged sewer.
Great idea, but how would you do that across the whole town? You know what I'm saying, like, if you water your yard, or you, like, I'd like to put in a sprinkler system and not have it, not be charged for it. Or how you gonna decipher that? You know,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just,
There must
How
be
is that?
there must be some rumor going around, because somebody did tell me, this was when I said, tell them what our issue was, they said, oh, well, you can get, there's a meter you could get when you're just watering, and that's, you need to get one of those installed. That must be what she's talking about.
water company? Are they? Yeah, we will move it. Yes, that's a. What if we go to the question to see if it can be a different way then?
So if it-
We use their gallons.
so if the water company tells her no, it all goes through, then she's gonna pay sewer on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you get a lot, it'll cost you an extra $1,000 a son. If you want to grass.
And is it actually going through the sewer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not just asking, what do I tell her?
Some people, maybe they'll.
As right now, based on our billing, we'd be going off of what the water company forced us. We go with the rest to decipher if it's going through, it's not. You know.
Okay,
Now, I gotta go back. I said this tongue in cheek, but there's water coming from that building. And she's using that, plus she wants more to water the plants.
well, for the church, she doesn't wanna haul it over there like she's doing.
I thought that church had a sprinkler system on that, didn't it?
I have no idea. And I've been looking and, there's some, we didn't buy all the options, I guess, when, our sewer program was installed. Because there's a button, there's an option on there for sprinkler allowances. Like if someone has an in-ground sprinkler system, you click it on for 3 months. And it's,
So maybe they have to come in and fill in like a, but how would you get the? Yeah,
Go back to the
for
readings,
the-
I don't know how you get the readings unless there's a set meter to the water company, but.
there's a sprinkler system credit.
They probably take the average of what you're using and then the average of what the additional sprinkler is on a month. Would be my guess. Okay.
And I mean, and if we have that ability, then we should do it.
I'm asking for one number.
I don't know if we didn't pay for that option. Cause there are options on there that we can't do. We didn't buy the whole package, everything.
Well, we would buy it, we wouldn't hurt until we got approved for our, I mean, we'd have to change our coding to.
Yeah.
Right. I just meant, it has a button to give credits for people with in-ground sprinklers.
Well,
If it doesn't, we should do it.
Over, like, we've got now until, people start on their May, maybe, I guess, that we could research it and adjust or if it worked out.
I would mean, if we know that that
capability is there.
start is next, not.
Right, I mean, it's too late now, but
Yeah.
if we could at least check it.
Now, it's a sprinkler system
Right.
credit. It's not for this kind of,
I don't spend it, no.
no, it's for people who have in-ground sprinkler systems that come on regularly all summer. Well, it says sprinkler
Are
system.
they able
It's
to
thick, it's not a sprinkler system.
do the one, like, are they able to bring in their worst month and try to get a credit like what we do for pool fills and stuff for one, I mean, it'd only be for 1 month, so they have to.
That's not any favors.
Well, how many people are there that have?
Because I mean, we had to do that before.
Now, because like when Steve Ackerman back in the nineties and put them all in.
There's several in,
Over there. And then there's not.
there's several down
Yeah.
there.
We have an outdoor spending, but we run out for me.
Is my assumption that the one that my neighbors see is such as water not through a well. Can you do?
You can have a well put in and run a sprinkler system off that, yes. Anyway, back to this lady. Yeah. What do I tell her tomorrow?
Right now, it's not a capability,
Yeah.
Okay,
but I'm not opposed to researching your setting and how it works and.
but that study won't affect her.
No, that's what I'm saying, for now. We're having to
You don't have to
water
take the bill,
company,
you're right.
the water company, if they can. Do something for it.
Yeah, right now it's not capability of us to separate what we come up with compared to.
Right.
There's no verification system because everything's based on water usage. So we get a meter reading from the water, from county water company. And then it would open up a door for anyone who says, well, I really did a lot of watering. I mean, given the issues we already have with sewer collection.
Like she could do it once a year and that'd be it. We couldn't adjust her all summer. You're allowed to get a,
Right.
Right, she could bring in her worst month, basically, and have, you can say, okay, this is her normal usage, this was the over,
right,
and.
she can't do it all summer, which is what I
Like
think.
do with the pool fill.
Not the way.
We simply don't have, we don't have a mechanism for
No,
that.
Right, we don't have a way to
To
determine
track
that,
it.
but
I don't wanna write off the bill in case you.
I'm pretty intimately
You have a piece
familiar
of paper?
with the sewer rate section. I don't recall anything
No.
that would fall under that.
If he wants to discuss further, who should I direct her to? You know who this is?
Yeah,
Okay,
you know, I can talk to her and do the same thing we talk to her. She needs to get to somebody else who can do that, and it's not that we don't wanna help out.
no capabilities at this time.
Correct.
Okay, then, our next one. You just want to stick with water, or leave skipping sense? Let's stick with water.
Okay, great, thanks.
This is, she's not on your agenda, but I did tell her to come in today. I added her to mine, Greg.
She was so nice.
This, you spoke to Mindy.
Yes, I did. Mindy was so sweet. Everyone I have spoken to at the water company in here, I want y'all to know, I just could not be nicer. My husband and I just moved here this is our second summer. And we're unfamiliar with this whole sewage water business. And also coming from an area of the country where literally we were allowed to water from 8 to 10 p.m. one day a week because the water's so short there. we're total idiots here. And, we moved in at 1001 Spring Street to my great grandfather's homestead, and we redid the whole house. And if you guys drive by, you're gonna go, my God, look at that landscape. So we watered, and didn't have a clue. And we feel so dumb. And so last month, someone told me, well, you can get 1 month adjusted. And I said, well, my sewage bill was $285. You know, and Mindy said, well, fill this form out. And somebody, I don't know if it was y'all or who, was so nice. And this was just last week. I did that. Well, then I got a $700 water bill yesterday.
Oh, no.
And I called Mindy and said, oh my God, I'm going to kill myself. And then I'm going to kill my husband first. I said, could we hold off on that thing I turned in and maybe make it this month? And she said, let me look. And it was already processed.
I did it at last meeting.
And I said, well, do you think there's any way, possibly that we could figure out what it is this month, deduct what credit they already gave me last month, and then maybe this month, because honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna pay it.
Her sewer bill for October is gonna be $716.80.
So what is it? I mean, I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. I have no idea that sewage, came off of the water. But I mean, I just learned all this in the last 10 days.
If she hadn't have sent, for a second here, let's pretend she didn't send an adjustment through already, okay? Her sewer bill is gonna be $716.88. Figuring everything, she should get an adjustment of $606.60. But last meeting, we processed an adjustment of $161.76 because she didn't know this was coming.
And if if I threw myself on your mercy and you were kind enough to say, okay, dummy, this year, but don't ever do this again. We've got water barrels ordered. We're like, oh my God. I told him, I said, I'm sick of tomatoes. Don't put a garden in next summer. I mean, seriously. And if you don't, you know what my husband says, you got to pay for your education. So I completely get it. No hard feelings, but at least I wanted to ask. So, and it really is embarrassing. And I'm sorry we're so dumb. So.
I've never seen this. This is the first question, legal question from my perspective. Not that it's not an issue, I'm sure it probably is, judging from some comments.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so, but this is the first time it's actually.
When I called the water company, or today, I had to get my password for something, and so she looked at my couch, she goes, my God, you're up there with the car wash.
Oh,
And I was like, no, please, don't embarrass me anymore, I'm already embarrassed. But our yard looks great. And we really want we're trying to make viewing. We're trying so hard with all of our neighbors to, let's mow that yard and let's get this place spruced up a little bit. I'm at the corner of Bowles and Spring. It's a white house. It's where Miss Butts lives. It's catty corner.
Kind of like the new front porch last year.
Yeah, I got a new front porch, the whole thing. Yeah.
I remember that, all that work being done.
Yeah, we took that place down to the studs, and we love it, and it's our forever home. I'm gonna have to figure out some other way to water plant. For sure. It might be better to pour Coke on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the mayor will live in my too.
Oh, yeah, you're
So the
right.
mayor was there only.
We have had everything tested. We had, yeah, we did. We had soaker hoses because we put in new stuff, and so we were. I mean, we're so ignorant. I just feel like
Where'd you move from?
San Antonio, Texas. And, we've never had a water.
A green lawn.
Well, we've never had a green lawn, yeah. We're so excited anything grows, So, anyway.
It's not that we test.
Wow.
it's, Yeah,
That's what, yeah, that's what she's kind of asking.
That clause to. Until.
I think what would make sense, given this is apparently something that is, probably a concern for a lot of citizens, so my guess is if we do proceed with this, this is not gonna be the first or the last. So I would like the opportunity just to research just what the ordinances are specifically, and any particular statutes, to figure out what could be an appropriate remedy here.
okay. Well,
And then perhaps we can make sure not to, I mean, because this is an abatement, while we can consider this, we can not charge interest on the, I'm not sure the,
We just ran billing today.
okay. So
So
we,
she hasn't got the $780 bill yet. She'll get it in the next 2 days.
oh, okay.
And she'll have it November 10th.
So by the next meeting, I can have some research done, so
okay.
and then some
I-
more informed recommendations. That
I
can provide to the board.
totally understand whatever you decide. I just want to ask. I mean, all I can say is no, so.
She could pay you guys whatever the credit was given last month, or for that last billing cycle, she could pay you that difference, and that never, basically, that water to the wash, and never happened.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
And can we keep it in this room because my husband is very embarrassed.
It's on video. right?
Oh, darn.
Just between us and whoever's.
And whoever's like, hello.
camera.
What is the water company? Are they able to?
No,
You
they,
use the water.
we use water. I mean, when he brings the computer and looks at it day by day, my husband's going, yeah, watered all day that day. Yeah, watered, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, you know, we want to pay for what we need to pay for.
No, she makes, yeah, I wouldn't think.
The water company, like.
They just didn't.
Yeah.
They have the water company.
Oh, no, they did, but, yeah.
That way they get from him.
Yeah, no, they can't, we do not have a leak, we don't have any toilets running.
I just make sure what current legal landscape.
We just water.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a first.
It's embarrassing.
What was your water bill then?
Our water bill was $697.
Almost 10 years ago, as I said, in here.
That's the
Yeah.
problem, is you don't go pay.
Yeah, see, that's, you can see that,
Yeah.
you know,
That's my son.
well,
Was that information from the water company, the one you had right there?
yes, I have all my bill, yeah. I have, here's the last 12 months. You can see,
That's mine.
and then here's.
That's the draft we draw.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's that? It's a couple of years ago.
Everything's gone over the whole.
Well, I'm not really gonna look forward to the end, but you can take me on.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
very impressive.
Wow, awesome. Yes, I did. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much.
Safe travels.
Thanks.
So let us,
Okay,
what Zach,
thank you for even considering. I really appreciate you just even considering it. So, thank you. Yeah. All right.
So November, what's our next, the third? Yep, we will have an answer by November 3rd. Your bill's not due till November 10th.
Okay.
So don't, just hold on to it, don't pay.
I have it all on auto pay anyway, so,
But still won't take it till the 6th.
okay. Okay,
Auto pay will take it on the 6th, so we'll have to make it.
Okay.
okay. Thank you again. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for your property.
Yes,
and-
investing in your property.
Well, we live Francetown, and if you ever get like a Main Street thing going, I want to definitely be involved in it. I'm all about making Brownstown cute again. Thank you.
Thank you.
okay, next up on the city business is renewal of the depot leasing.
He wants to renew it, and I recall maybe we don't, someone saying we don't necessarily maybe want to renew it again. Did we have that conversation?
What
Here's
is,
the current lease. Did someone say that?
what was there, is there an expiration?
Year to year.
Oh, yeah. Around the new year, yeah.
That's like a calendar year. And we did increase it the last time, and it hadn't been for a while. Because he had done some improvements early on.
Maybe if we wanted to keep it for just a year in case something
Yes.
changed.
I'll ask, is this one that we drafted, is this one that?
I think I did.
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't executed yet, but I didn't. Maybe each came here to sign it.
Do you want to draw a copy of this?
I do. No, of
Would you be able to have someone in your office send that out to us?
course.
Maybe another. Let me look at it.
From what I recall, there's a lot, typically like credits and some things that we've done for, rent adjustment based on some of those improvements.
Yes.
It'd be nice to do a clean lease this year, if possible.
Okay.
I don't think we have any.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
Least
credit on
Yeah,
this
that's why-
one.
or improvement on this one.
This one even had a price increase.
Yeah, it was all early on.
Yeah, that's,
Okay. You know, I'm sure that, let's take a look at it.
I'll send that out, yeah, and then I'm not sure, I know some folks maybe didn't get to review the new, surplus policy, so I can resend that to. Yeah, so I can go to some lost spaces there, so.
we put this on the third agenda too.
Yes.
What's that? I normally bring my laptop, but No. this chaos is how I function, so.
Okay.
I have to
Yeah,
get
so put that back on the agenda for next meeting on third.
they translate this as several kilograms. Yeah, I mean, maybe,
Back on that.
What is that?
yeah.
All right, do we have anything else under new business?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Another, is there a second? That's exactly.
14 minutes.
Is there a second?
I did it.
Thank you. Appreciate you, second. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Meeting is adjourned.